Alright gang, welcome back to our Triple Threat Challenge here on Hutan Pantai. We are starting off different than what we have been doing almost every episode for a while now. And going to go ahead and complete and finish the harvest here. Obviously we've got weeds growing in this field now, so we are going to have to do a little cultivation to it, probably a little spraying and or hoe, weed pulling, etc. Rain is in the forecast yet again. So we're going to try the best we can here to get this field done before the rain gets here. This is the only field we have today that needs to be actually harvested. So hopefully we can accomplish that goal and get it all complete today. Really don't want to push this for another day if at all possible. Definitely need to get this all taken care of. Now, it is October. Canola is best to sell, I think, in November, so I have not looked yet, but we will take a look at the prices of canola today to see if it's decent, if it's pretty close, or if it is better, because sometimes it is. We're going to go ahead and sell it. If not, we might hold off and wait until the next episode, so long as the rest of this canola can fit into the silo. I should have stated that probably beforehand, but how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you are all doing well. I'm actively in the process, as we are doing this one, of working on a new challenge that will be coming out on this channel here in the next, well, I don't know. It could come out this week, or it may come out the following week. I don't know yet. It really depends on how long it takes me to finish and finalize the full details of it. On paper, I've got it. Everything else, as far as the high level of it, that's all done, and I've got it all sorted out, but there's some other things that need to be finalized that I'm going to work on whenever I have time this week. And well, I guess this weekend. I'm recording this obviously before this video comes out. This one should come out on Sunday or Monday, one of the two, Sunday or Monday. I don't know which day. So this weekend I plan to hopefully work on that a little bit. This weekend I actually have some time for once. Not a lot of time, but I do have some time for once that I have not had for quite a while, unfortunately, due to work events and other family life events. So, but yeah, hopefully you're all doing well. Hopefully things are going well. We've got a couple more passes here, and this will be all done. Now, besides this, we really don't have a ton to do today. We've got to go ahead. Obviously, we're going to cultivate this field up. We might even re-drill this field, depending on the time. We have the grass field over there that we can mow, certainly. And then we've got to do some second applications of fertilizer. We need to flood the field behind us. Probably both of them, actually. We need to flood both fields behind us. So, we got a couple things to do for sure, but it's, you know, typical housekeeping stuff. This things we've been doing here for a little while. We're also probably going to go over to the sawmill and get the winch and probably get the remainder of the trees into the sawmill. It still does have plenty of actual trees. Well, plenty of wood in it for now. It's got 9,000. It won't have enough for the next episode, but there's plenty in it for now. Not any concern for this episode, rather. But we have, between now and the next episode, we will need to put some in there. So we will likely do a little bit of that today, a little bit of forestry work today. But that'll probably be towards the end of the episode. Don't plan to do any contracts today, but if there's one out there for baling, or bale wrapping, excuse me, we might go ahead and do that. As you know, we have that bale wrapper still with a lot of wrap that we need to go ahead and utilize. So if there's one out there and it's not something that's going to take us an eternity to do it, we might do that today as well, considering the lighter objectives for today, I guess. Other than that, things are good here, gang. Things are good. Yeah, I'm really excited for the new series that I'm working on. I think it's going to be really good. It will eventually take the place of this one. It's likely to come out before this series is over, but eventually it will take the place of this one. And it seems like all of my members who have had access already to at least the skeleton of that are very excited about it. So alright, so we're on the final pass here. We're definitely going to get it done. What do we got out in the used market? Not really anything for us. This is nice, but we really don't need it. It's quite massive for the small amount of grass field we have, right? So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, I don't think, for us. As far as the rain goes, it's not going to get here. Actually, I don't even know when it's going to get here. It doesn't even show on the calendar down on the bottom. I don't know. It won't let me move that any further, so who knows when it's going to get here. It doesn't look like it's going to be here anytime soon, so we probably will be okay for the whole episode, which is also good, right? So that's done. Let me go ahead and move this out of the way. I'm just going to dump it directly out of the harvester. There's no reason to unload it into the trailer and then unload it again. Now, this field here is probably going to need some lime as well, so that's another thing we can do today. Hopefully all the canola fits. Alright, while that's happening, let's run over here and flood these fields. I should have did that a second ago, but... oh well. So go ahead and flood these fields really quick here. Want to make sure that we get the best yield we can out of these fields. Alright, that one's taken care of. We'll head over here to this one. I'm just going to walk right through the field. Why not? Foggy and cloudy, man. It's going to be hard to see, probably, most of the episode, unfortunately. That's okay. Alright, that's taken care of. It did all fit in the silo, which is even better for us. Means we can hold off until it is best to sell the canola. And we will check that here in just a second to see if it is today or not. I would suspect that it's not, but you never know. There's a lot of times where that does happen, where it ends up being better the month before. Alright, perfect. Alright, let's look and see. What do we got here? What do we got? Canola. No, we're going to hold off. Some of those are dropping already, so they may not go any higher, but we're going to hold off because we can get an extra $100 to $200 minimum out of it if we wait till the next month. So we're going to wait. We're going to hold off on that. All right, so that's all taken care of. So now we need to go ahead and get the cultivation going here on this field. Now what I'm going to do is actually put a worker on doing the cultivating here. Really, we probably could just do a direct drill actually of it and then just do the hoeing. Maybe that's what we should do. Needs rolling. It doesn't say anything about needing lime, though. I would have thought it would need lime, but let me see. It says it does need lime. It's just a certain section of it, I guess, that needs lime? Yeah, it's just that bottom section, evidently, that needs lime. Okay. Well, that's fine. Alright, we're underway, gang. We're just going to go ahead and do the direct drill. We're going to have to hoe it up anyway, even if I cultivate it. So we might as well just do the direct drill. Putting in wheat. Not going to make the mistake again and put canola in this big massive field. We want something like wheat or something that's going to grow a little bit faster, and we'll also be able to get straw out of it, which we can turn into silage, right? So that's extra money for us, which is good, man, because we've got a lot of things we're going to have to purchase for this temple. As you know, one of the optional objectives, which we are going to complete, is the temple. We've got a lot of stuff over there. It's chewing through it slowly but surely. But we've got a lot more that we really need to put in there. The amount of stuff you have to put into the temple for it to actually be fully complete is insane. There's a lot of stuff that has to go into it. I would say we're close to probably halfway with all the stuff that's required. I think. Somewhere around there. It might be 1/3 of the way. But either way, we're still far away. That's really the point I was trying to make, is that we're far away to being able to actually fully have all of the resources that need to be over there for the temple. But we'll get there. Last episode, the temple did make some progress. I'm sure that you saw at the very end of the episode, right? We had some pillars up and some support beams over top of those pillars. I don't know if what's happened today in this episode or not. I don't know what next stage it's got to, but we'll have to go take a look at it here in a bit. It does appear that it's going one piece of the temple at a time, which means it is going to take a long time, as everyone has mentioned. So we are definitely going to have to utilize the jumping of the months there to try to get that complete when everything else is done. Now, one thing we could potentially do today is we've got those trees down there at the very end, straight ahead from behind us, that we've talked about removing at some point and then kind of expanding this field a little bit. We could do that today. I don't think we necessarily need to do it. Like, we're not, you know, hurting for money or anything anymore. But we did talk about doing that at one point back in the day, early on in the series here. So maybe that's something we could consider to do today. Just head and round that off, right? Go ahead and take care of that. I'll think about it. I don't know. Somebody, and one of my members, told me, and I must have got this wrong for a long time. I was under the impression or the understanding that the hail damage, as you can see the shadows of it right in the distance there on this field, if you cultivated over it and you re-drilled it, that you would still get full yield out of it. But one of my members, M55 Gaming to be specific, mentioned that that's not actually the case. So we'll let you drill over it, but you don't get the full yield out of it, which I did not know that. So that was a learn something new for me today situation. I did not realize that, so I'm going to have to kind of test that out a little bit. I want to see exactly how much of a yield decrease that we get, right? So that means I'm going to have to get the cultivator out and I'm going to have to get the plow out so we can try both approaches to see what happens. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and do it right now because we're getting ready to come across a section right now. So let's get the vulture out. Now, I think the hardest part is going to be me figuring out where the hell it was, right? I mean, I guess maybe if I look up far enough, maybe because whenever you do a cultivation, it does still leave that bit of that imprint in the ground. So maybe I just have to go up high and I can see the imprint in the ground of the hail versus the plowed version, because the plowed version you're not going to see that hail damage, right? I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense here or not. Hopefully I am, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. I mean, I've been doing it just with the cultivation for almost every single time. The only time I wasn't doing that is whenever we didn't have a cultivator. All we had was a plow, right? But even if even when you're cultivating it, you can clearly see that imprint of the actual hail damage is still there. It's actually probably even more noticeable with the cultivation versus not. The weeds are kind of getting in the way a little bit. But you can clearly see that right there. Those are two different textures there, right? So I don't know. Guess there's only one way to find out. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to get the little hail damage here all finished up with the cultivator. Then I'm going to go get the plow, and I'm going to plow up that over there. And I think there's two more down there, actually. So we'll plow those up, and we'll see what we can do here as far as figuring this out. I have no reason not to trust M55 Gaming, and I do trust him, but I just never... To me, it didn't seem like there was a difference. So just for prosperity's sake and then everyone else to see it real time, we're going to test it out here. All right, let's see if we can give it a shot here. We're just going to go ahead and throw a bit of a time lapse in here, gang. I'm going to get this knocked out. We'll do some of the drilling. I don't know if we'll do the entirety of the whole field in a time lapse, but we're going to get a lot of this done here. We'll see what happens, and Vulture's having a small issue with the plow here. It is a little bit too... there's not enough power, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's just a little under on the power for the plow, but we'll be able to get through it. So even with plowing up the field, you still see it there. And I swear we've done this test in the past, and it didn't really make a difference. But we're doing it again, so we'll find out soon enough here. I've just gone over a portion that was plowed. We will soon go over the area over there that was cultivated. It will tell us a little bit, I think, right now about if you're getting a better yield out of it or not. But, I mean, I suspect it's not going to be that big of a difference. Even if it does give you a difference, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong on this. It's been a long time since we tested this out, and I gotta see it for myself. Here we go. Getting ready to go across it, so we will find out. As soon as we go across it, I'm going to jump out. I'm going to look at it. See. I think right now, with the re-drilling that we're doing right now, granted, a lot of this has weeds in it, right? So the cultivation area and the plowed area won't have any weeds in it, so they should be higher already. But, I guess we'll see from the plowed perspective versus the cultivated perspective what we get. Alright, so I can't even hardly see where it was. 65%, which I think is what we're getting everywhere, though. Yeah, 65 is pretty much everywhere. I'm not seeing the yield bonus change anywhere at all leading up here, and you would have thought I would have run over at least a portion of it by now. So nothing's changing from the cultivation. Let's see if it does any kind of changes here from the plowed. So if I'm correct on my statement, this right here should be 65. Yeah, it's 65%. So when we get to the plowed version... Oh, it does change. Oh. Well, look at that. It goes from 65 to 92% with the plowed area. Look at that. Huh. Well, I guess we'll try to see if we can figure out once we... have fertilized it for a second application, once we've pulled the weeds out or sprayed the weeds, or whatever we're doing. I guess we'll try to see if we can find the locations where that was and see if we can confirm again at that point, right? If it changes at all, if it moves itself back up to that amount. But that's interesting. That's, you would have thought by now I would have known that. But I guess we could say thank you to M55 Gaming, excuse me. Well, I guess you learn something new every day, huh? That's what they say. All right, we had to do a little bit of a touch-up there at the very bottom there that I missed early on, but we are done now. I will admit that the game crashed on me, so I had to redo some of that, so I don't know if the actual time up top is matching up from where I left you in the last cut, but yeah, so the game crashed on me. It was... hasn't happened in a while, but it did. It crashed on me, but luckily, it wasn't that much that I had missed. The autosave had happened just a few minutes before, so good thing for that autosave, man. So let's back this in. Now, off camera, I already did start doing a little bit of extra stuff. What I mean by that is I went over to our sawmill and started stacking up some of the pallets that we have over here, as you can see. We still have quite a few more to stack up here, so I'm going to get the rest of these put up on the trailer here. We will go sell these at the temple. I also want to look at the temple here and see if we can maybe stop on the way there and pick up potentially a few more. We don't have a ton of money, but a few more, either bags of cement or shingles or roof pieces, whatever you want to call them. Roof tiles. I can't remember what they exactly called them, but you know what I mean. Because if we can pick those up and put them on here too, if we have the room, that would be useful as well, because that'll just continue to help us progress with the temple. So I'm going to get the rest of these stacked up here, and I will be with you shortly, likely near the temple. All right, I did stop and buy some bags of cement. Not a bunch, 6 pallets to be specific. That's really all we can afford. So I figured I might as well go ahead and pick them up while we're at it. So we should make a bunch of money back here, though, right now. And I talked about getting rid of potentially those trees and expanding that field. Well, we don't have a stump grinder still, so we really can't do a whole lot of that unless we bought something else, right? So the odds are that's probably still not going to happen. I keep talking about wanting to do it, but then I, you know, completely forget about grinding the stumps so we actually could put a field there. Yeah, we're doing good. We've got pretty much everything we need in here. I don't see any other thing else specifically where we would need it anytime soon. It's just a matter of it taking its time to go through it. Now, I need to put lime down on the bottom of that field we drilled. That drilling of that field took a lot longer than I expected, honestly. So we're not going to have a whole lot more time left in the episode today, but I figured I'd come up here and see what else has been added to the temple, if anything. I don't really see much of anything. It looks like it's still the same as it was in the last episode, so that's okay. Let's head back, let's do that lime, and we'll call it an episode. Alright, I filled up the pallets of lime we had here. There's not a ton, honestly. I think we're going to need more than that, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy some. I'm just going to buy a whole trailer load. We'll probably utilize it anyway. There's only a section of the field that needed it, but it was a decent size of the section of the field. I would say it was probably, I don't know, 1/3 of the size of the field that needed it. And now that we have plenty of money anyway, what's the difference? It only cost us $2,421 to do it, so we might as well, right? And we're underway. It's going to run through this pretty quickly, even though we have a lot in here, but it should be, I think, enough to do the portion that we need to be doing here on the field. So this is going to help out a lot, right? This lime's going to give us a little bit more yield down here in the bottom. We're probably going to have to do the other portion of the field probably the next time we harvest, since this is kind of being offset now. But that's fine. Doesn't bother me. I'm not going to have time, unfortunately, in the episode to do any of the forestry work like I said we were going to do. So we'll just do that off camera, or we'll save it for the next episode, whatever. While I'm probably going to at least do a little bit of it off camera. I want to make sure that that sawmill continues to have as much wood in it as possible until literally we have no more wood to cut down. Or no more trees to cut down, rather. But yeah, it's been a good episode, gang. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks to my 14 members. You guys are absolutely amazing. Cannot thank you guys enough for all you do. If you're interested in becoming a member, access to videos like this one early, plus a members-only series, links in the description down below. Check the Discord out. All that good stuff helps me out a ton. And we'll see you in the next episode.